What is real wealth? Real wealth is devotion, because that devotion can purchase Krishna. To strive for that wealth is the ultimate aspiration. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu empowered so many of his devotees in this spirit. One of them is Saranga Thakur, whose disappearance day it is today. He was completely absorbed in Krishna Prem, immersed in loving service to Krishna. In Navadvip there are 9 islands. One is Modadrumadvip. Within that island is a small village called Mamagachi. That was the residence of Saranga Thakur. Near the bank of the river Ganges, under a bakula tree, very old bakula tree, he would sit and pray. Pray for pure unalloyed loving service to Radha and Krishna. Practically day and night he was immersed in chanting the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. While he was chanting, in his pure state, he was absorbed in deep meditation on the Lord's mercy, on the Lord's pastimes, on the Lord's love. By God's grace, he had attained the highest state of spiritual perfection. For many years, he sat under that tree, chanting. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he requested him, you should preach this message, you should make disciples, train them in bhakti, in the process of devotion. Now, do any of you have any idea what it's like to make disciples? It's not what you think it is. It's a difficult job to extend yourself and to deal with all these mayas and all these problems. And I mean, who would want to do that? Either an egomaniac or a fool or a person who is just trying to be an instrument, compassion, selflessly serving. So Saranga Thakur, he just would not accept disciples for several reasons. One, the more advanced you become, the more humble you become. We read in the prayers of the great souls, none of them say, I am a self-realized Paramhamsa. They're all saying, I'm lower than the worm and stool. I'm the most fallen. I'm the most desperate. Please, Krishna, save me. Narottam Das Thakur prays, Patita pavana hetu tava avatara, mosamo patita prabhu napai beara. This means, Lord Chaitanya, you have come to deliver the most fallen. Therefore, my claim is first. Because if you observe the whole creative energy, you will not find anyone more fallen than me. That is the nature of a pure soul. So Saranga Thakur did not feel himself qualified. But there was another reason. He was just so happy, just sitting under that bakul tree, just chanting the holy names, absorbed in ecstatic love of God, that to extend himself, to go out and preach, and then to start dealing with disciples and all of that, just was a disturbance to his bhajan, to his worship. So he never said no to Lord Chaitanya. He simply never did it. We have all met people like this. They don't say no, and they don't say yes. They just don't do anything. So he was like that. So Lord Chaitanya, again and again, Saranga Thakur, I have descended into this world to deliver the fallen souls. Help me. To do that, you must accept disciples. Hare Krishna. Years went by. One day, Lord Chaitanya was in Navadvip. And actually, Lord Chaitanya came to Mamgachi. Saranga Thakur was sitting and chanting under the bakul tree. It was in the summer. And the bakul tree actually died. There was no leaves, no flowers, no anything. So there was no shade. So that was difficult. But actually, he was chanting under that tree for so long. He loved that tree. He really loved the tree. The tree was rendering such good service by giving him shade. So you know what Lord Chaitanya did? He embraced the tree. And upon embracing the tree, right before Saranga Thakur's eyes, thousands and thousands of leaves and flowers began to grow on it. Came back to life. Whoever and whatever is dear to a devotee is assured to receive very special mercy of the Lord. This theme is throughout the scriptures. So this bakul tree was just an inanimate body with a living entity in it. But somehow or other that bakul tree was giving shade to Saranga Thakur when he was doing his bhajan. It was doing some service. And because Saranga Thakur loved that tree, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought the tree back to life. And now the flowers of the tree were not just ordinary flowers. They were actually expressions of Krishna prema. He gave the tree love of God. Haribo. Lord Chaitanya told Saranga Thakur, you see what I did for your tree? Now you do this for others. You bring the sleeping souls back to life with the holy name. And Lord Chaitanya left. So Saranga Thakur decided, out of love for the Lord, he would surrender to his will. So early in the morning, it was very dark, Brahma Muhurta hour, perhaps about 3:30 in the morning, he was walking to the river Ganga. And he decided, today, the first person I meet, I'm going to initiate. So as he was bathing in the Ganga, it was dark. Something bumped into him. Something bumped into his foot. So he looked over. It was the dead corpse of a little boy. What happened is, in those days in Bengal, if a person was bitten by a serpent, they did not burn or bury the body. They would place the whole body in the Ganga to just go with the current. So this child was bitten by a serpent and died. And the parents, they suffered a tragic loss. He was just a small child. So they placed the body in the Ganga. So Saranga Thakur took that little baby out of the water. This is the first person I'm meeting today. He promised, in his heart, he promised Lord Chaitanya he would initiate the first person he met. And this is who Lord Chaitanya sent him. So he chanted the Maha Mantra in the ear of the child. And by the touch of his foot and the hearing of the Maha Mantra, the child came back to life and fell at his feet, crying, and surrendered his life. He initiated him. This is very instructive. Bhakti Vinod Thakur prays, jāgo, gauracānda bole, kota, nidrā, jāgo, māyā. That we are all sleeping on the lap of Maya. Sometimes Prabhupada said sleep is like death. Because really, when you're sleeping, when you're in deep sleep, the only difference between that and death is you just wake up in the same body. Death, you just wake up in a different body. Yes? That's the only difference. Every time you go to sleep, you're like you're dead. You don't know who you are, you don't know where you are. Sometimes when you travel a lot, when you wake up in a dark room, you have no idea where you are. But when you fall into deep sleep, it's like death. You forget your identity. When what we call death is you just wake up in a different body. But if you don't die by those terms, you just wake up in the same body. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling us, come out of this whole dream of the illusory energy. Wake up. You are the eternal soul. You have a relationship with Krishna. You're meant to enjoy ecstatic love and offer that to the world. Wake up, wake up. That is his message. And how does he wake people up? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Through his name, his all-merciful, magnanimous name. So the spiritual master is actually waking us up from a dead spiritual state. When we forget Krishna, we're for all practical purposes spiritually dead. So what is initiation? Initiation is the spiritual master is giving us mantra that's waking us up to our eternal nature, waking us up to our eternal position. Now, you know sometimes when you wake up, you're kind of groggy for some time. Well, that's kind of what we go through. We don't immediately. Takes time to be fully awake. But the process of awakening is initiation. So Saranga Thakur actually, by giving him Diksha Mantra, he brought him to life. That is the purpose of the spiritual master, to bring our souls back to life by giving us the name of God. And that little boy became so grateful. The news spread and ultimately reached the ears of his parents. They were overjoyed. They were going to get their son back. So somehow or other they came all the way to Mamgachi and they said to their little boy, come home, we're waiting for you. The little boy, who was given the name Thakur Murari, little Murari said, actually, the body you gave me died. This life was given to me by my spiritual master. Therefore, I am going to serve him for the rest of my life by helping him to spread the glories of the holy name. The parents accepted. Thakur Murari became one of the greatest preachers in history. He assisted his Guru Maharaj in bringing so many people to the path of pure love. That was Lord Chaitanya's magnanimous desire. We can understand in this context how dear Srila Prabhupada is to Lord Chaitanya.
You were listening to Radhanath Swami on thesacredconnect.com.